Hello children, today we are going to continue reading this chapter, that is chapter 2, Speedy, I Need You. In the previous video I have already started teaching this story, and over there I told you that Speedy is the name of a robot, and along with the Speedy we also came across two astronauts, and the name of those astronauts are Mike and Greg. And we had read the story halfway, and we had seen that they needed selenium in order to save themselves from the heat, and they had sent Speedy to the pool where selenium was found. But once Speedy went there, but what happened was that Speedy did not return with the selenium. Instead, this Speedy, that is the robot, went round and round the pool, and now they are trying to rescue Speedy. So now let's read further. Right, said Mike. There are three laws that are built into a robot's brain. So before this, it is being said by Greg that there's something that's confusing his brain. There's something that's confusing whose brain? There's something that's confusing Speedy's brain. And over here, Mike agrees with Greg, and he says that there are three laws that are built into a robot's brain. So there are three rules that are built into a robot's brain. That there are three rules that a robot needs to follow. The first law says that the first rule states that a robot must not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to be harmed. So what is the first law? The first law says that a robot must not injure a human being. Must not injure means a human being must not be hurt, a human being must not be harmed due to a robot, or through inaction allow a human being to be harmed. So the meaning of inaction you can see over there in your book, doing nothing. So a robot cannot stay away and do nothing if there is an emergency where a human being needs his help. So it's being said over here, the first rule says that, the first law states that a robot must not injure a human being, that is a robot must not hurt a human being, or through inaction, that is by doing nothing, allow a human being to be harmed. According to the second law, a robot must obey orders. So according to the second law that's there in the brain of the robot, what is being said? A robot must obey orders. The third law says that a robot must protect itself unless this conflicts with the first and the second law. So according to the third law, that's according to the third rule, the robot must protect itself unless it, that is this law, conflicts with the conflicts, you can see the meaning, goes against with the first and the second law. So if there is a situation where we can take, for example, if there is a situation where the robot needs to choose between his own life and the life of a human being, then that robot needs to choose the life of the human being. Similarly, if there is a rule, like let's say if there is a rule that the human being orders this robot to do something, then that robot is supposed to do that thing. And the last law says that a robot must protect itself unless this conflicts with the first and second laws. So over here Mike realized what was happening to Speedy. So Mike understood what was happening to Speedy. The third law is driving him away from the pool. The second law is driving him to the pool. So Mike realized that Mike understood what is happening to Speedy. He understood that the third law, that is the third law according to which the robot must protect itself. So this third law was driving him away from the pool. So it was dangerous for Speedy in that pool, so that the third law was driving him away from the pool, and the second law was driving him to the pool. That the second law was that the robot needs to follow the instruction, that is follow the orders of the orders that are given. So over here it's being said that the third law is driving him away from the pool, and the second law is driving him to the pool. We must stop him, otherwise he will go on like this forever, he said. So what did Mike say? Mike said that we must stop Speedy, otherwise he will continue doing this forever, that is for the coming time. He will continue doing the same thing, that is he will go round and round the pool. According to the first law, a robot cannot watch a human being in danger without coming to his help. I am going out there, said Greg, and stepped out of the tunnel. So according to the first law, we have already come to know that that according to the first law, the robot must not injure a human being, that is a robot must not harm a human being or through inaction, that is by doing nothing, allow a human being to be harmed. So according to this first law, robots must save human beings. So over here, what did Greg say? Greg said that according to the first law, a robot cannot watch a human being in danger. So a robot cannot see that a human being in danger without coming to his help. That is, a robot must go to a human being if that human being needs help. So that's why Greg is going out there. So Greg is going out there, that he is going out of the tunnel and stepped out of the tunnel. So he went out of this tunnel. I have already told you what a tunnel is. Then I told you it's an underground passageway. So further it said that the sun was hotter than ever. So the sun was hotter than ever means it was very hot over there. It was hotter than ever. He cast one glance over his soldier and realized that he had come too far to return by himself. So what did he do? What did Greg do? Greg cast a glance, that is, he looked quickly over his soldiers, and what did he see? He saw that he had come quite a distance, that is, he had come quite far, that is, and realized, so he understood that he had come too far to return by himself. So he had come too far and now he could not return by himself. Speedy continued going around in a circle, talking to himself. So Speedy was going round and round. He was going around the pool and he was talking to himself. Speedy, Greg called out anxiously onto his radio. I must get back to Sade or the sun will kill me. It is life or death. Speedy, I need you. So what did Greg say? Greg called out Speedy, that Greg called Speedy anxiously. You can see the meaning of anxiously, that in a worried and very desperate manner. So he called out Speedy into his radio and he said that he must get back to the shade. Now what is the shade? Then shade is a place where which is away from direct sunlight. So he said that he must get back to the shade or the sun will kill him if he it is a matter of life and death. And Speedy, I need you. So Speedy needs to help him. Now Speedy needs to help Greg. Seeing Greg in danger of losing his life, Speedy snapped back into action. So what did Speedy do? As soon as Speedy heard these words from Greg and saw that Greg was in great danger, what did Speedy do? Speedy snapped back, that is, he came into reality and he came into action. That is, he was confused, so now he came back into reality and he got back to action. Greg felt metal fingers on his arm. So what did Greg feel? Greg felt metal fingers on his arm. Now these metal fingers are those of Speedy. Speedy, in a worried apologetic voice, was saying, "What's the matter, boss? What are you doing here? I am so confused." So what did Speedy say in a worried apologetic? Apologetic is in a regretful manner, that's in a sorry tone. What did he say? In a sorry voice he said that, "What is the matter, boss?" He's asking whom? He's asking Greg, what is the matter? What are you doing here? Next he's asking, what is Greg doing there? I am so confused. And he also said that, Speedy also said that he is very confused. So when you are confused, you don't know what you are supposed to do. "Never mind," Greg whispered weakly. "Get me to exit 13A and hurry." So what did Greg say? Greg said, "Don't, never mind. So don't take into concern." He said, whispered weakly, and he said that he instructed Speedy to take him to exit 13A, and he also asked Speedy to hurry. Greg woke up to see Mike bending over him. So when Greg woke up, what did he see? He saw that Mike was bending over him. "How are you?" "Fine. How's Speedy?" So what did Mike ask? Mike asked, "How are you?" to Greg, and Greg said he's fine, and he asked, "How is Speedy?" Speedy came and stood behind Mike. So after that, who came over there? Speedy came over there, and Speedy stood behind Mike. Greg took out his hand and held Speedy's metal fingers for a moment. So you can see in the picture, Greg is holding Speedy's metal fingers for a moment. "It's okay," for a moment, for a short period of time, for some time. "It's okay, Speedy," he said. Speedy had saved him. So what did Greg say? Greg said, "It is okay, Speedy." And we came to know who saved Greg. So Speedy saved Greg. Adapted from Runaway. So this story is adapted from Runaway. It's written by Isaac Asimov. So Isaac Asimov, born in 1920 and he died in 1992, was an American author. So he was an American author. He is famous for his works of science fiction and the books he wrote on science. So this person named Isaac Asimov, that's this American author, he is famous for what? He is famous for science fiction. Now what is science fiction? Science fiction are stories that are based on imagined future scientific or technological advancement, and he is also famous for the books he wrote on science. The popular movie I, Robot was based on one of his stories. So the famous movie that's I, Robot, it is based on his one of his stories. Asimov's three laws for robots mentioned in the story have been used in many other books and movies. So these three laws that we have read today, the three laws that are written down in the brain of the robot's brain, and these have been used in many other books and movies. So we have completed reading this story. It was a wonderful story where we saw how the robot saved one of the astronaut and what are the three rules that are built into a robot's brain. So we have read this chapter. So today what you are supposed to do is you are supposed to write down, let's copy the word meanings that are provided in this chapter in your English notebook. So you need to copy the word meanings and also learn them by heart. I'll send you the solutions of this chapter in the next class. Thank you.